Hey, what's up everyone? The Dan Sandwich here, and today we are back in automation and BeamNG.drive, and we are going to be taking another look at this thing here, which is the DSM Python. And as you can see, I have cloned this, and that is for a very good reason that I will be talking about very soon. But if you didn't see the last video that I recorded with this car, or if you just don't remember what you did a couple of weeks ago, this was the car that I designed to be the Bugatti Veyron Slayer. It's a hypercar in 2005 that could beat the Bugatti Veyron's top speed record of 253 miles an hour. I ended up going 50 miles per hour faster than that and got up to 303. And that gave me the idea of how much faster can I actually make this car? Because I didn't max out all of the quality settings. I built this in 2000 for the 2005 model year, so it doesn't even have all of the newest and best technology. So I've got a couple of ideas of what I can do with this car to make it even faster. But of course, first thing to do here is to bump this model year up to 2020 so we can actually use some of the newest technology. So let's go all the way back here to the chassis. And okay, so all that stuff is still the same as far as the carbon fiber and things like that. However, oh, like I said, I do need to bump up the quality setting because we're going plus 15 on everything. Actually, can we go even further? Yeah, let's go to 15 with all of this stuff as well, actually. So yeah, we got all of the best of the best of the best of the best stuff there. I wonder how much of a difference that's actually going to make. I've never actually messed with that stuff before, so I guess we'll find out here. Let's go into the engine once again and increase everything now as well. And oh, okay. Well, we'll fix that. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the original engine. So the 4-cylinder twin-turbo V8 that I built for this car originally. And then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to see what the biggest engine I can put in that is and see how crazy fast I can get beyond that. But for right now, we're just going to maximize this engine here. So let me fiddle around with this stuff and actually get it to work, because apparently it's higher quality doesn't necessarily mean better. But yeah, we'll figure that out. All right, after a lot of messing around with this engine, I got 3,000 horsepower out of it, 3,012 to be exact, which is kind of insane, considering the one we started with had like 1,300 horsepower. So we more than doubled that. Well, more than double that, which is crazy. I'll show you what I did here. So went to engine family. I increased the number of valves per cylinder to 5 instead of 4. Everything else here I think was the same. I went with the billet steel flat plane crank instead of the regular billet steel one. I went with forged pistons instead of lightweight forged because I was stressing the pistons out too much, and this is going to allow me to get more power out of it. Still lightweight titanium conrods, and then harmonic dampener. I lessened the amount of balancing mass because it didn't need as much for some reason. Probably because it's lighter weight because it's higher quality. That's my guess. Compression, you can kind of see the numbers I have here. It only revs at 8,200 RPM. The original engine revs at 9,000, but I think it's because I have a lot more boost. The turbos are doing a ton of the work here, I'm guessing. Absolutely gigantic twin turbo setup with 61 PSI of boost, which is ridiculous. That's why we have this very absurd looking power curve here, but we're looking for the most power we can get out of this engine, so it's probably not going to be the most normal looking power curve. I originally tried to use nitromethane in this engine, but it kept blowing up. I think I might have to start from the ground up if I want to do a nitromethane build. I'm not really sure what the reasoning there is, but I haven't messed around with the nitromethane fuel a ton in this game, so maybe that's why. But if I can get that to work, I'm sure I can get even more power out of this engine, because that's kind of the most powerful fuel you can use. The compressor is fine. The compressor is totally fine, everyone. Stop worrying about the compressor. It's only 13,000 you know, it's totally going to be fine. For some reason, it's not like throwing off any errors here. So I'm wondering if this is just a glitch and if it's actually totally fine. But anyway, moving on to the exhaust setup. So I got rid of the catalytic converter, no mufflers whatsoever, race headers. So yeah, the original build, I wasn't using any like quote unquote race parts. I just went with, you know, whatever the best was before you got to the race stuff. Now I'm going, you know, all out. So insane power here. So 3,012 horsepower now, well more than double what we had originally. I'm gonna keep the body the same. You know, I don't. This is more of a how far can I push this car challenge versus like a real design challenge. I'm gonna go all-wheel drive because with this much power, I feel like we're gonna need it. And let's go with a 10-speed dual clutch because I feel like that's gonna help us out as well. But actually, the top speed is lower than I'd expect, and I'm not really sure what the reasoning for that is. Let's see. We had a 7-speed, I think originally, right? No. Okay. So with rear-wheel drive. Okay, so we're still interesting. Okay. Interesting. Well, let's go with a 10-speed because I think we're gonna need that many speeds just to manage this torque load we have going on here. Okay, so that is probably a little bit more realistic now. Let's adjust this gearing a bit. I wonder what kind of like acceleration numbers we're going to be able to get. 2.7, 2.6. That's probably good for a 10 speed. It's still saying top speed is 345. But I'm not sure what the issue is here. Oh, you know what? I didn't increase the quality. Here, let's see that. Let's see if that helps us out a bit. A little bit. A little bit. Power distribution. I'm not really sure what we need to do there yet. I'll figure that out here in a second. Carbon fiber wheels, so a little bit lighter weight now. We're going to go with a basic interior too. So we're getting as much weight out of this thing as possible. And let's go down to 1 seat. Because I really just want to see like how fast this thing can actually get. And we are gonna do the launch control because I think that does help us out quite a bit here. But we are gonna get rid of all the safety equipment. We have quite a bit of wheel spin right now, but that's okay. Alright, so right now let's see what they're saying our top speed is. 341. Now, if I remember correctly, Automation quoted the previous version of this car top speed at like 370, and we went way beyond that. So I am guessing that when we put this in BeamNG, it'll probably also well exceed that as well. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. So let's. I wonder how fast this thing's actually gonna get. All right. So after more fiddling around and testing, I think I got this thing set up the way I wanted to. I painted it red because I haven't made it just like a regular red car in a little while. I renamed it the Max Veloce. Max Veloce. I'm not Italian. I don't speak Italian, but that is an Italian word for fast, which I think applies to this car here because according to our test track, we can reach 378 miles per hour. So yeah, at a 0 to 62 miles per hour in 2.4 seconds. So this thing is insanely fast. Obviously, it was already insanely fast, and I wanted to see just how further I could push it. The interesting thing is it's actually cheaper than the original one, but I think it's because I stripped out like the infotainment and the safety and all of the interior stuff. So I think I saved money there, even though everything else costs more. I don't know. Let's see. It's probably lighter. I actually didn't check the weight of the other one, but it's probably lighter as well. And yeah, like I said, 3,012 horsepower at 8,000 RPM. So let's go ahead and export this one. And then I'm going to do another one of these with a V12 engine, quad turbo most likely, and see. I'm going to make an engine from like the ground up basically and see if I can make this thing even faster. So let's do this one, and then I will start working on the other one, and I'll show you that here once I finish that up. All right, so I built a V12 quad turbo engine to put in this car, and it's insane. Don't worry, everything's fine. Everything is totally fine. This red stuff, it's okay. It's gonna be fine. The important thing is this thing makes 7,783 horsepower. So that V8 that I just built was over 3,000 horsepower. This is double that and then some by a lot. It's so much power. Oh my god. This is by far the most powerful engine I've ever made in automation. I know other people have built more powerful engines, but this is a first for me for something this insane. Oh, I should increase the size of the intercooler to help out, because I have so much more power now. It's okay. Yeah, so I lose a little bit of power, but it's probably for the best. So yeah, I'll show you what's going on here. So we got a billet steel crank, lightweight titanium conrods. I went with forged pistons again, because of the stress. Harmonic dampener, I could actually probably, I don't know, I'm not going to mess with that right now. Same basic stuff here. It revs a little bit higher to 8,500 RPM. I might be able to actually, can I increase this? Or is it going to blow it up? Yeah, it's going to blow it up. That's as high as I can go without causing this thing to fail. Yeah, 8,500 RPM. We got huge quad turbos on there. A little bit less boost than the other one, but 55 PSI is still insane. I maximized the size of the manifold and everything. We're still using unleaded fuel, because that's the thing. Is like, if I built this with nitromethane in mind, I might be able to get more power out of it. But I wanted to stick with regular fuel for right now. Maximize the size of the headers, and they're still not big enough. But anyway, this thing is just ridiculous, and it fits in this car. Now, I did swap out to the longer wheelbase version of this car, so some of the fixtures may not fall into place the same way. But I did that so I could fit a larger engine in there. This is just talking about brake fade and wheel spin. The engine's reliability is too low. I think I can still export it with reliability too low, right? I think that's probably fine. I can't actually... What's going on with the gearing? There we go. All right, now we're in business. I still can't reach the estimated top speed of 430 miles an hour, but 398 is pretty good. I'll sort all this out here in a little bit. But essentially, we're starting from the same spot as we ended at the last one, so it should be pretty similar. Yeah, let me do some more work with this, and then I'll see what actually ends up happening with this thing. All right, so it's still giving me a flashing red thing for the engine's reliability, but that's not going to stop us from exporting it to BeamNG. According to the test track, the top speed is 398 miles an hour, and 0 to 62 miles an hour is in 2 seconds. I couldn't get either of those any faster for any reason. This thing weighs quite a bit more than the other one, probably because the engine is so much bigger. But the weight balance is more balanced, interestingly enough. But yeah, let's take this thing into BeamNG as well. Let's test them both out. I think I'm just gonna do the top speed test for each one, and then go to the drag strip most likely. I will try to do a test track run of each of these cars, but I don't think either of them are going to handle well enough for me to get all the way around the track. But I'll find out. I'm going to try it. I do want to see if either of these are capable of doing a full run around the test track. But yeah, considering the immense amount of power on hand, I don't know if that's going to be possible. But man, 7,785 horsepower, that is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. And I'm excited to see what these cars are capable of. Let's find out. All right, we are in BeamNG.drive now. I have both versions that I just made. The Max Veloce, and then I called the other one the Ultra Veloce, because, you know, those are words. And yeah, we're gonna test these out against each other. I think, so the other one's supposed to be a longer wheelbase, but they look about the same to me. And I think this one actually might be even longer, but I don't know. Whatever, here we are. This is the V8 version, and we are at the grid map because I want to see how fast these things can get up to. As a reminder, the last one we tested out got up to 303 miles an hour. So let's see how much faster this one can get. This is 3,000 horsepower. I turned the volume down quite a bit because these things are insanely loud. And we're up to 250 already, and the nose is lifting up quite a bit, but that's okay, because we're continuing to go even faster now. I think automation quoted this one at like a 348, and we are already past that, and just continuing to go even faster. 355, 56. 359, 360. I think 360. Oh, we're continuing to climb here, so that's good. Oh, okay, so 361 was the top speed. Now it's starting to kind of freak out a little bit. So 361 top speed of the V8 version. That has about twice as much horsepower as the previous one. So let's switch over to the one that has twice as much horsepower as that. And that's the quad turbo V12, so let's go. This thing is considerably less stable, which makes sense considering it has 7,000 horsepower. I just needed to hold steady long enough to get to 400 miles an hour. That's all I need out of this one. Oh man, we're actually stopping at 304. I wonder what happens. Okay, I'm gonna reset. I wonder what happens if I turn off the traction control completely. Let's see. Yeah, I think we actually need the traction control though to keep the wheel spin in check. But maybe once we get to higher speeds, it won't matter as much. Let's find out. Yeah, this thing is all over the place. I'm not touching the stick at all. And this thing is just wobbling like crazy. I think I need to widen the wheelbase of this thing. Because, yeah. Not the wheelbase, the track. The track of the wheels. Because now it's just spinning. I'm literally just holding the accelerator. Okay. I might have to do some more configuring with this one to make it work. So, I think I'm going to do that. But 361 for the other one is pretty fantastic, if I say so myself. But I'm going to go back into the lab with this one and see if I can't make it more stable at high speed. Okay, so I went in and I widened the track width. It looks a little silly because they extend beyond the edge of the car. But, you know, that's what happens when you do that. So let's see if that adds more stability to the car so I can actually reach a higher top speed. If not, I think probably some adjustment to the aero is going to be what we need to do here. But it's probably just because the engine is too powerful. But we're already going... Because the last time I got it to 303. So let's see if this helps. 306, 307. I don't think we're going to get to 400 with this thing. So I might have to spend some more time in the lab with this car. But the wider track width did help. At least get like 5 more miles an hour of it, but still definitely not enough to compensate for the severe addition of power there. But I think what I have to do is work on the aerodynamics and stuff and get it so that it sticks to the ground better. But 361 out of the V8 version, I think, is probably the best we're gonna do, at least right now. Again, I was just kind of trying to see how far I could push the limits of this car body. Why is the front still up in the air like that? That's weird. Huh, that's funny. I guess I just wanted to see what the limits I could push this car body, and see how big of an engine I could put in it, or how powerful an engine I could put in it. But yeah, let's go to the drag strip now and see how these things do there. Alright, we're at the drag strip. This is the V8 version with 3,000 horsepower. Let's see what we can do here. It's going to get up to about 234 miles an hour. That's 7.2 seconds. That is the fastest time by about half a second over the Lego race car. So our new drag strip king here is the Python Max Veloce with 3,000 horsepower. Let's change over to the other one and see if that can get any faster. Alright, now we have the Ultra Veloce 7,000 horsepower version of the car, and it is super unstable, and now my graphics card is freaking out. But we got 7.9 seconds, so slower than the other one, but not by a whole lot. But probably because this thing just can't keep the power to the wheels, which I'll have to revisit this one. I'll have to take another crack at it and see if I can make it even faster, because I like the idea of having a insanely powerful engine in a car, but I want to see if I can actually control it first. Alright, I really did try to take this car to the automation test track, and it wasn't happening. it just does not control well enough to actually complete a lap of that track, which is what I expected, honestly. So I'm not too disappointed, but a little disappointed is the truth. But you know what? You know what we got to do is we got to take these off of the car jump arena to see how far these things can go. I will actually put a link to each of these resources on the BeamNG mod site as well, if you want to try these out yourself. And if anyone has any advice on how I can get the 7,000 horsepower one to actually be stable, I'd love to hear it, because I really want to see what that thing is capable of. But, you know, for right now, we got this one up to 361 miles an hour, which is insanely impressive, and I'm happy with that for now. I know there's other people who have gotten faster speeds and all that stuff, but I wanted to just see how far I could push this thing. So I think I did a pretty good job at that. But you know, I gotta take this thing off of the car jump, and let's see how this happens, or how this goes. Let's see, we're gonna get up to almost 300 miles, 273 at the end of the jump there. We're going all the way into the sand, and we're gonna bounce over the pool and onto the that's perfect, onto the podium. That's beautiful. That's really funny that that's where it ended up at. All right, let's jump into the other one and see how that one compares. Gotta start the engine here, and then let's go. Oh man, this thing is so loud and so unstable, just like my ex. Anyway, 291 miles an hour off the jump, and a full backflip into the sand over the pool. Will this be joining the other car on the podium? No, just underneath of it. Just underneath of it. But there we have it. Fully maxing out my top speed car and going even further than I did before. I think I'm going to have to revisit this one again and see if I can tame it in any way. And I think I might want to do like a real track-focused version of this car as well. Something that can kind of go around the test track a little bit faster as well. But that's it for this one. I really hope you enjoyed it. This was a lot of fun for me to make. If you like seeing the stuff that I make, subscribing is a good way to see more of it. And if you like this video, throw a like on it. And I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.